Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today it's time for Advent of Code again. And today we're gonna do day 8. And day 8 is something that is a little bit strange. They had a password for the BIOS to the rover, but they forgot it, or the elves sent it over in a picture, but this picture was encoded, and I guess that we need to decode it at some time. Sorry. And I believe that this is a pretty simple. The first one here is pretty simple. It's just drawing or figuring out in a image that is 25 pixels wide, 6 pixels tall. Figure out how many layers are there, and in these layers figure out which layers contains the fewest 0 digits, and multiply the number of 1 digits and 2 digits in that layer. So this first one should be the first one here should be pretty simple to solve. The second one will be a bit harder, I believe. But I'll start to implement this first one here, and I'll be back when I have a solution for that one. And I'm back, and the solution here was quite simple again. I just had my input string up here. I created this max x and max y and put in 25 and 6, which are the width and height of the layer. And I created a layer size because I would use that a lot. Then I have my iterator here, so I just have I equals to 0. And then I have a layer index, so which layer is the current one that I'm using. And let's see here, layer index and I is pretty much the same here. Yeah, so you could simplify this even more if you don't want to use that many variables. Fewest zeros, I set that to value of max value, so I will look for the layer with the fewest zeros, so the layer index should be that with the fewest zeros. And then I also have saved the actual layer that were the fewest. So I will do a while loop here until I find until the input length is smaller than the layer size plus where I actually is at the moment. I will substring from where I am plus 1 layer. So I get that into a string. Then I will count the zeros with this one here. So for each character I will see if it's a 0, then I will add to that. And if the number of zeros are fewer than fewest zeros, I will save the layer and I will save the number of zeros. Then I will increment the iterator variable with the layer size, and I will also add to the layer index. So this layer here was layer number 7. So I will take that layer and I will multiply that with the layer size and do a substring from there to fewest layer plus 1 times layer size. So I will get just that layer into the string here. Again, loop over that layer over all characters, count the 1s and 2s, and then print out the 1 times these 2s. And I will get 1548. So let's look if that's the correct answer. Yes! You get a gold star, I get a gold star, everybody gets a gold star! We solved it. So let's go to the second one here. I will read the description and I'll be back with when I figured out what we need to do. And I'm back, and this puzzle was also quite simple. We have each layer. The interesting part is that the first layer is drawn closest to you, and then you get further apart, further back into the stack. And for each layer you have 3 different values. 0, that's a black, 1, that's a white, and 2 is transparent. So if we have 2 in any of the layers, that value can change in the next layer. But if we have a 1 or a 0, that will be kept in the next layer. So we just need to go through each layer and find where the position is 2s. And in that case, we can change that value to the value that is beneath. So this should be also a pretty simple one. And then I need to make a function that actually can print a layer. So I'll do some coding and I'll be right back when I'm done. And we're back. let's see what I did here. If we close that down, I have my input here, I have my layer size, and I started off by actually creating a result where every byte was a 2. So I had a bunch of bytes in a result byte array here. Then I went in and went through all the layers. So I have an index here that goes from input length divided by layer size. So I will get for each layer, and then I will substring the first layer here, or whatever layer it is, and for that layer I will go through each character. So I will go through the length of the array, and for every index I will look in the result buffer if I have the number 2 there, so that's a transparent pixel, and if so I will put a new byte in that, which is this substring over here. So I will substring it and I parse it to an int and transfer it to a byte. A lot of transfer back and forth. Then I will create a new res string, because my print layer function handles strings from the beginning. So I will just go through and just put everything into a string. It's nothing fancy. And in my print layer here I will do for each max y. So I go through all the y variables and I will print out a substring of that current row. So I will get each of the rows. And down here I've printed this, and you see there's a lot of zeros and ones, and I have looked at these ones and figured out that it spells SEKUA. That's the 5 letters that I see down here. So let's try that out on the site and see if we actually have the right solution. Yes! You get a gold star! I get a gold star! Everybody gets a gold star! We solved day 8 as well today. This one was a little bit simpler than yesterday. I still haven't figured that one out. I got some suggestions to have a queue instead. Try that out. Still gets a very bad result on that one. So hopefully I will solve that in the future, but I will skip it for now. I hope that you found this video interesting. I hope that you learned something today. If you haven't subscribed yet and like interesting videos where I look at new interesting libraries or try to solve puzzles like this one, then subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments to this video, give them down in the comment section down below, and I really hope to see you in the next video.